G'day punters, welcome to the weigh-in. Big weekend was had, wasn't it, mate? Golden Slipper Day. It's the big day on the autumn, I suppose, outside of the championships, and 5 Group 1s to sink our teeth into.
Yeah, well, it used to be my favourite day of the year. I used to love getting out to Rosehill, getting the day off, getting out there. Rosehill's a great track. You ever been to Rosehill?
Not Rosehill, just Randwick.
Yeah. I used to, like when I was younger, Rosehill was probably my favourite track.
Yeah?
Now it'd have to be Randwick, but
Yeah, I'm not
Rosehill was close to home. So maybe that's why.
Can't beat Eagle Farm.
Eagle Farm. Yeah, I've been to Eagle Farm.
Great track. Great venue.
It's
They've
okay.
done it up.
Yeah.
They've done it up. Have you been there since they've done it up?
No, the last time, I reckon, I don't remember maybe the last time I went to Eagle Farm, maybe when Mr. Baritone won the Stradbroke.
Yeah.
Would have been a few years ago.
06? 05?
That's nearly 20 years ago.
I remember being a young pup and got mum to back that because it was number 15, my favourite number.
Number 15,
In the Storm Silks,
yeah, a long time ago.
Lee colours. Yeah.
Long time ago. Actually, I probably have been there since then. I think
maybe we'll have to go Stradbroke Day this year.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we'll organise an event. That'd be nice.
Hunters Club.
We're gonna buy one of those houses that back onto Eagle Farm. That'd be nice. Yeah.
Hang the leg up banner over the back of it.
Yeah, we'll have to back a few more winners, but we'll see how that plays out.
Yep.
We're trying.
We are trying. 2 winners for members on the weekend.
Yeah, they were good ones too.
Yeah, both in the Group 1s, which I think people love too.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, Lindemann. We'll go through them soon, but Lindemann and Maria Mia, we declared her the winner of the Galaxy 6 weeks ago. So
on this show.
On this show.
So
Yep, $15.
The loyal listeners filled their pockets.
They did.
Certainly the hosts did.
Yeah, I had a couple of bets on her, on the way through, so it was good.
I just had the one, but I think because she got into about $7 at one.
She did, yeah, and then she
$1,300
did the floppo,
and then
got back out. But she was very firm in the market on Saturday,
was,
around that $10, $11 quote. I think she ended up starting about $9, so she did a terrific job. I'm glad that she won for us. Asphira was a bit stiff, but all right, you get stuck into them.
We'll kick off with the Rosehill Guineas. Hey, mate, we mentioned it, taken out by Lindemann. If you're on Pericles, you probably feel a little bit sick because, I suppose, listening to the call, I think it was something along the lines of the favourite moves up, puts its head in front, yes, and then Lindemann kicks back and under a good, strong Nashville Willa ride, mate. So talk us through the win of that horse. How did it go and rate?
Yeah, well, I had a futures ticket on Pericles, but I wanted Lindemann to win for the strategy because he was the value on the day. So I thought he was out. I thought he was really good.
Yeah,
the race has gone okay. They went relatively slow to the 600 for the class, and then they finished off in around benchmark for the last 600 metres. The 2 horses that were on speed dominated the race. That's how it was expected. There was not much speed in the race. Nash was always going to be aggressive on this horse. He was aggressive on him 2 back over 1,400 metres in a benchmark 78. And then he got off. I think Kieran McAvoy rode him in that Randwick Guineas. So got back on. He was going to be aggressive, take control of the race. You would have thought that James wasn't going to lose Lindemann there because he wanted to keep him in sight. Yep. He did that. He probably hit the front at the furlong. But it's typical Nash just to have a half length off his sleeve. Yeah. And he found it in that last furlong, and he just kicked back on the line because I guess if he didn't have that half length, the other horse was going to draw away and win. Where do you think these two go?
It's a good question. I don't know. I doubt.
They're not Derby horses.
No, I doubt neither of them push on to the Derby. I'd probably, maybe with a Pericles, try and maybe sneak into the Doncaster.
I reckon they'll both go there.
Both there?
Yeah, I reckon
I was even going to say
there.
Lindemann, has Waller has he got a Queen Elizabeth horse? Take the 3-year-old front one running horse to a weight for age classic.
I think it's not really his style. His style in the past is 3-year-olds into the Doncaster.
Yeah. Whether or not he will, though, like he's got... Who else has he got?
He's got Fangirl.
Fangirl, Hinged.
I don't think Waller minds having a few runners in.
No, I
Doncaster.
know, but have,
But Fangirl's going to be hard to beat in that race. But I reckon both of those two go to the Doncaster. I think the Derby horse in the race was Elliptical. He was beaten off, but he actually had the best last 200 metres of the race. And if you watch him through the line, he was really doing his best work. So, I don't know.
I thought everything in the race, like outside of the first two, I thought everything in the race was really disappointing.
Yeah, Manzoice was definitely disappointing. I thought he was going to be...
Brosnan was ordinary.
Brosnan was really he was the one. I thought he was definitely going to run a race.
Yeah, Matcha Latte sort of loomed, and at one point I thought, he might finish off and be right in the finish, but he...
Why don't you get a Derby market up? I'm not even sure who's favourite in the Derby.
Sharp and Smart.
Oh, you're on him too.
I'm
So
on him
just
nice
getting the QA.
Yeah, I was pretty happy to see everything flop, to be completely
What's
honest.
second favourite?
Manzoice is.
Oh, okay.
I think he was $6.
What price is Elliptical?
Where are we, Australian Derby?
100 to 1.
No, $9.
$9. Okay.
Pericles 8, Elliptical 9, Lindemann 9, and then it's sort of the New Zealand Derby.
Yeah, I wouldn't be taking any of those prices.
No.
Yep. Favourite's going to be hard to beat. But yeah, the race has only gone average, but those horses coming back to a Doncaster, 3-year-olds, 2,000 metres back to 1,600 metres with no weight on their back, they always acquit themselves pretty well.
Yep. I think Converge started close to favourite last year in a Doncaster after running in the Rosehill Guineas.
Yeah, you're right. I think he won the Randwick Guineas, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
The second Group 1, mate, the Randwick, taken out by a pretty impressive international, Dubai Honour. Bolted in, really, and Montefilia, she was good from the back. Gold Trip, probably a little bit plain. What else do we have there? We had Mwanga, he was game, but...
He was fighting on the line.
Yeah, he was in a spot, then he dropped off, and then he came. It looked like he was going to run last. Hinged. A few good horses there.
Yeah, I think this is the win of the day, though. Dubai Honour.
Yeah,
He went very good. He had the run of the race.
Yep.
It was a slowly run race for the class, but they zipped home in 33.70 or something here. So he just put him to the sword, and he was just getting stronger and stronger as they went along. So he had the best last 200 metres of the race. He was getting further and further in front of him. Sets up a mouth-watering clash with him and Enemo in the Queen Elizabeth.
Doesn't it just?
Yeah, I have to say, I probably slightly into this horse at this stage.
So would
because we've
I.
only seen him once in Australia, and it was an outstanding, dominant performance.
Yeah, and Enemo, I mean, you can't say he doesn't. You can't say he's not a 2,000 metre horse when he's won a Cox Plate, should have won 2, won a Rosehill Guineas. But I think you could make a genuine case that he doesn't see out a super duper strong 2,000.
Well, he's usually got the race won by 100 metre mark.
Yeah. So if he's got a real battle on his hand, and if that horse repeats what it did yesterday on Saturday, it's going to be.
They might turn it into a staying test. They might.
Maybe
they might try to clap it on from a fair way out.
Yeah, maybe James will put Allegron or someone into the race. And
who knows? Well, that wouldn't be ideal. I think it would play into Dubai Honour's hands if it turned into a staying test.
Yeah.
But this horse he was just outstanding. And the other horse he never really puts a margin on Fields. He's only done it once, I think, in the Rosehill Guineas. And I think that was on a bog track. Sires. Yeah, in his 2-year-old days, yeah. But yeah, this horse, Dubai Honour, I'm really keen to see him again. He was outstanding. As I said, I think he was the best of the day. And he's a horse that we can follow. Montefilia, she could go around in the Tancred, and you said that she is in the Australian Cup as well. So
yeah, nominated for both.
I think this form's going to be relatively strong, and getting to 2,400 metres for Montefilia is not going to be a problem. I thought she was luckless in the Caulfield Cup last year. So, yeah, I think on that live stream we tipped her sort of at $8, and she's into about $3.40. So, happy to see her win, but interested to see the fields come out, whether or not they accept, back her up 7 days after that. But I don't see any reason why. It was a slowly run race, and they zipped home, so it shouldn't have took too much out of her.
little bit of rain forecast as well for the end of the week in Sydney.
Woodnerda,
Ditto Gold Trip.
ditto Gold Trip.
Yep. Interesting.
Yeah, I think she was much better than Gold Trip, but I don't know. If Gold Trip was flat, he could have been flattened off that Steinem run,
Yep.
which was a really strong race. But interested to see him again. He was too plain for me.
Yeah. Mark Zahra, I think, said the dry track and the 2,000 metres.
Against.
Yes. Negatives. Mate, the George Ryder, taken out by the champ, Animo, 9 Group 1s. What a superstar. He did the tough way.
Yeah, damn. This was. I'd have to say just about win of his career.
Yeah. I think we said that straight after that race too.
It was one that if they were going to beat him, they were going to beat him on Saturday. The horses that were in this race anyway. He covered extra ground. He was wide without cover. I think the fact that it was a really slowly run race helped him.
Yep.
Because he's covering ground on a slow speed, so it's not putting him as much out of his comfort zone. He could still stay within striking distance of the leaders. He showed a good turn of foot. Fangirl, she was luckless again. She's
stiff not to have like 4 Group 1s on a page.
She'll win a Group 1.
She's already got one, but
what Group 1 did she win?
Won the Surround.
Oh yes, she did. Yeah, she did.
Yep.
She beat
Espiona.
Yeah,
12 months ago. Yep.
That was a while ago. Yeah. Artorias was. I don't know if he was stiff, but he definitely lost a bit and surged late, and he was in between horses. Levante was really good. You never want to get that wide on that Rosehill track, but she found the line really nicely. I thought Communist measured up really nicely here. He's probably a horse that is going to go to the Doncaster as well, so a 3-year-old going back to the Doncaster. Converge is back in business.
That's what I was going to say. Converge. We if you were listening to the live stream during the day, I think Wok, said, "What about Converge? Is he just completely gone?" And the general consensus was yes, but that was sort of the first time that he's done anything for a long time, or probably the best part of 12 months, I'd say. He, of course, he beat Animo in that Randwick Guineas, ran second to him in the Rosehill Guineas, and then, he's only beaten, I think, you go through it, a 12th out of 20 was, beating 8 horses home in a Golden Eagle was the most horses he had beaten home in a race.
Yeah, it's been a while.
12 months, but he almost looked the winner at one point.
Yeah, well, he was good.
Yep.
Definitely back in business. So, interesting. I think they'll go to the Doncaster with him, and if he can reproduce that, he'll be right in the finish.
Yeah, he got 52 kilos in the Doncaster. I was sort of thinking as well, I know we've probably got a lot of sort of horses that, sort of talk about the Queensland Winter, but he won a JJ Atkins as a 2-year-old over the mile at Eagle Farm by 3.5 lengths. He could be a Stradbroke horse.
Could be.
At Eagle Farm.
You got a few Stradbroke horses.
I've got a few Stradbroke horses, I know, but
you're building a book.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing wrong with that.
3 noms just at that $26 or thereabouts.
You tipped me into Gundy Bridge this morning as well.
Yes, trials tomorrow.
Yep, so I'm excited to see him trial. He's a very good horse. So
he is.
I think he'll definitely measure up to stakes grade, and that'd be the sort of race for him. Next one, the big one.
Yes, a bit of a disappointing Golden Slipper, if you ask me. Of course, taken out by Shinzo. So Chris Waller, Coolmore, Ryan Moore, they all get their first Golden Slipper win. Cylinder was game in defeat. King's Gambit melted in the yard. He was good. But, mate, I suppose the big talking point, learning to fly, the unbeaten filly, one of the race favourites. She bombed the start and then got checked at about the 800 and lost the rider. So there's a bit of drama in the slipper.
Yeah, a bit of drama in the slipper. I think it was a very fast run slipper. So Cylinder and the winner, Shinzo, drawing low was very handy to them. They both saved ground getting up on that inside. Cylinder had every possible chance, Loom to win at the furlong, hit the front. The winner was just too strong late. He had the best last 200 metres of the race. I would say getting to 1,400 metres in a size is not going to be a problem for a horse like that. Yeah. As you said, King's Gambit, he was really good. I think the difference between him and the other two were that the other two saved ground, and he had to come to the outside. So I think he was really good. He was probably, you can probably just forgive that margin slightly. Don Corleone was okay. I think the Blue Diamond form was probably just a notch behind the Cylinder Shinzo form. So race we can definitely follow into the future.
I want to ask you about the Breeders' Plate winner, Empire of Japan. Of course, he was one of the really good trial horses back in August, September when that first crop step out, and he duly started a short price favourite in the Breeders, bolted in. He was then, $8 Golden Slipper favourite, as every Breeders' Plate winner in existence ever is after the race. But he got out. He started close to triple figures on the weekend. Ran fifth. I thought he was actually really good back to the inside.
Yeah, he ran well. I think Don Corleone just out-bobbed him on the line there for fourth, so there was nothing between them.
The official margin between those two.
But yeah, back in business, he's just a horse that sort of mixed his form so far, and his best has sort of been on that rain-affected track.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's his best on dry ground for sure. Not sure what they do with him now. He's been... I don't know. He's been up for a while, but
came obviously up to Queensland for the Magic Millions.
I think the other horse, Don Corleone, will probably definitely go for a spell. The top three might go to the sires. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
King's Gambit maybe not, because he just over races.
No, I want to see King's Gambit. I'm a big fan of the horse, and I declared him a long way out for the Slipper, but I really just want to see him on a cool October day at Flemington down the straight in a Coolmore.
You might be right.
Good luck beating him.
I'll be there's going to be some good horses in that race. So.
Can I declare him for another Group 1?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Coolmore. That's what I mean. Like,
well, just do something now so that we can clip it up after Coolmore Day when.
That's right. This is King's Gambit we're talking about. Who this boom horse steps out on debut at Caulfield, blows them away on his Melbourne leg, comes back to a hot Sydney summer, autumn, melts in the yard every time, doesn't go the Sydney way. There you go. Espiona 2.0. Back to Melbourne, cool spring day, down the straight, relax, let down, bang. Back in.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely use that. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. He's already listed as spelling. There you go.
Did you know that Chris Waller became the first trainer in Australia to win the Big Five?
Are we including the Everest in the Big
Five?
Yeah. I suppose the old Big Four is now the Big Five.
Definitely has to be. I think the Big Five, I think that's right. So well done to Chris. Australia's best trainer.
It's about the fourth Australia's best trainer we've got on this show now.
Oh, we've got Joe Pride, but
J-Cum.
Oh, I don't know. They're all great trainers.
They are.
There's none better than Chris at handling as many horses as he has.
Correct.
So he does a terrific job.
Yeah, and I think for him too, I was listening to the post-race interview this morning from the Slipper, and once upon a time they were talking about Chris Waller, like his horse, his 2-year-olds. We wouldn't really see them until like Queensland winter. Like he's got a lot of JJ Atkins winners, but those early runners, Slipper winners, they've sort of eluded him, but now he's winning them all.
Yeah, now he's got the Golden Slipper. Outstanding effort.
Yep, outstanding, mate. We had another Group 1 in Sydney too, didn't we? We had the Galaxy taken out by Maria Mia, who, like we said earlier, the listeners, they got a little treat. She bolted in, really. Maria Mia under Tyler Schiller. First Group 1 for the Star Apprentice. He's a rider for the future, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. He's a super rider. Wasn't overawed by the situation presented in front of him. He had every possible chance. She got the run on the fence and booted away to win. I think that 1,300-metre run under a belt on the back of that really fast speed helped her over the concluding stages. I don't think Eduardo is going as well as he has. I know he went fast, but he's gone that fast in the past and kept going.
Yeah.
So he's definitely going a couple of lengths off his best. She can measure up to Group 1 weight for age, no doubt. Whether or not she'll be a Group 1 weight for age winner, but she will definitely be competitive in stronger races. I thought Asfura was very unlucky. I'm not sure if she would have won the race, but she should have finished much closer to the winner. I think she would have finished second for sure. She was held up at a crucial stage, and when she did get out, she really savaged the line. Uncommon James was held up, but he didn't really ping late. So
Damien
I think
Lane put that down to the horse's lack of race experience and immaturity, that he was in between runners. Do you sort of have any opinion on that? Like, he's a Group 1 winner. He's won plenty of races. Surely he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, but I don't know. Just going on his Oakley Plate run, he was in open air, sort of there. Like, he was never crowded or anything like that. No. So maybe that. Well, I don't know. Lane hasn't had a partnership with him in the past, has he?
Yeah, he's ridden him a few times.
Has he?
He won the Regal Roller on him in the spring, and then rode him first up in Melbourne, but then couldn't make the weight for the Oakley Plate.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, maybe he knows more than me, but maybe that horse just hasn't really been in that situation in the past. No. So maybe something that he can learn.
Probably
from.
Not. He's always sort of been just sort of out into clear air, bowling along.
But yeah, he was good. I don't know what they do with him now. Whether they send him for a spell, Brisbane.
I think it'll either be the TJ or the Quokka.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think he can win the TJ.
Probably not.
But Quokka, send him. Yeah. WA. Why not?
Why not?
But yeah, I don't think the TJ winner is in that race.
No. Would that be the same horse that maybe won another Randwick 1200 metre race 6 months ago?
Who? Oh, I don't know. Depends where he draws. He doesn't want to get too far back.
Nature Strip might bounce back.
He might. I wish I might win.
Oh, of course.
If he draws a gate.
Oh, here we go.
You know?
Key Largo. I have to go back and watch this run. Key Largo, he's got a mention on this show. I believe, was he also... no, it wasn't him. It was the stablemate that wears the same colours. Another cognac that Nash didn't give much hope.
Yeah, well, this horse went well. I think he's still like a 78 rater or something. Probably 84 now. 84. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well,
he could go to
if you find him in a benchmark 88, he's going to be hard to beat, isn't he?
Yeah. Wednesday race at Warwick Farm.
Yeah, it would be interesting. He's sort of one of those horses, though, that is only a few lengths off in Group 1 handicap company, but then he'd struggle to win a benchmark 88 on a Saturday because he's just got a poor racing pattern.
Yeah,
he just gets too far back, and when they zip home, like he records unbelievable sectionals, but he's just not within striking distance of a lot of races that he contests. So,
one more horse in that race I want to ask you about because he was pretty firm in the market, got out a little bit late, but Remark bombed the start, probably maybe not cost himself the race, but certainly his main chance. He sort of looped them and loomed into the race as a winning hope at one point, but just peaked late. Yeah,
just peaked on his effort. Too far back. Yeah. Had to use too much energy to get himself into the race, and then he peaked on his effort. So yeah, that was a fast run race, and it's just hard to come from that far back and loop the field and win. So, he's a horse that could win a race, not just a race, but he could win a big handicap race one day.
Yeah.
He just does a few things wrong, so it's hard to win that race when you're bombing the start.
Right.
Isn't it?
I had him on top, and I was thinking, we're going to get a good run in transit here, but chances gone begging right from the get-go.
It was interesting that the market didn't like him, though.
They always know they're going to miss the kick.
Does. Yeah. Somehow. I don't know.
We are on a delay when we're watching them, maybe.
Maybe.
Sky's 45 seconds behind. Mate, that's it from the 5 Group 1s in Sydney on the weekend.